This might be the last midge pattern you'll ever need. Here's how you tie it. This is a Daiichi 1640 dry fly hook. This is a size 20. I like tying a lot of emerging midge and baetis patterns, tiny ones, on these dry fly hooks. They work super well for that. I'm attaching red Uni Thread 8/0 just behind the hook eye, and immediately going to bring in a piece of ultrafine wire, silver wire. Capture that wire at the front of the hook and wrap it down on top of the hook shank as you go rearward towards the bend. Try to keep that wire on top of the hook as best you can, just to keep that body uniform and symmetrical. Once you get to the bend, bring your thread forward again with touching wraps to build up a little bit of a body, and then leave your thread up behind the hook eye. Rib your thread body with that ultra wire in spiral wraps all the way forward, getting it as close to even as you can. Tie that wire off at the front with a few wraps over the top and then a few wraps in front before helicoptering the excess material to cut it off close to the hook shank. Next is the most important material in this fly, is firelight dubbing. It's a very lightweight dubbing material. White firelight gives off a very natural movement and coloration in the water and makes for a great wing case or wing material. Pull a small wisp of firelight from the dubbing pack and trim the ends so that one side is even. Capture the firelight on top of the hook and then pull that rearward until the cut ends get to your tie-in point. Then you can capture that material down with some harder wraps and leave the firelight facing rearward until after you build your thorax. For that, we're going to use Peacock Fire dubbing. Take a very sparse amount from the pack and dub a short noodle on your thread. Use that small noodle to build a little bit of a ball for your thorax just behind the hook eye. Once that's complete, you can bring your firelight material over the top like a wing case, pull it tight, and then capture that just behind the hook eye with a few good wraps of thread. When trimming your firelight, we want to leave a small tag facing forward, about 1/8 to 1/4 inch of the material facing forward before we trim it. This is a key indicator for this fly, a key trigger for the fish, and a very important part of this pupating midge pattern. Trim your firelight and then add a few half hitches or a whip finish around the hook eye, and then you can trim your thread. Finally, add a small dab of UV resin on the thread wraps and hit it with your light to make sure that it is secure. This has been my go-to midge pattern for years in tailwater fisheries, spring creeks, all season long. If midges are abundant and fish are keying in on midges, this has been one of my go-to patterns, along with a Palomino style midge. This is my go-to, and the smaller the size, the better. Tie them in sizes 18 to 24, and have yourself a ball next time you go out fishing. Hopefully it helps you out. These are all the materials you'll need to tie the Christmas midge. Head down to your local fly shop and ask for Larva Lace by name. If they don't carry Larva Lace, send them to haggidsfish.com or ask them to email Lorie to get the best quality synthetics on the market, made right here in the USA in Mitchell, South Dakota. Thanks for tying with Larva Lace and being a part of the Larva Lace community. Here's to tight lines and well-tied flies.